What is going on, everybody? I'm here with a quick recap, a cop state of mind after that sensational 5-goal thriller. I know we always like to say that Liverpool versus Arsenal, that always brings goals, and we said it in the pre-match. But I don't think anybody expected a 10-goal thriller going into penalty shootout, which Liverpool obviously come out on top with a 5-4 in penalties. That was simply... I don't know what to say, because we went into this match and I think we all said, like, hey, like, you know, if we lose, it's not a big deal. We'll get over it. But we do obviously want to win against Arsenal, and you do obviously want to get a little closer to some other silverware. And then we said, if we lost, it'll be all right. If we win, we'll be happy. And then, you know, the game starts off, like, right off the bat, own goal, 1-0. And then Arsenal go in front quick. They go up quick, it was 1-0, and then it was 1-1, and then it was 2-1, and then it was 3-1, and then it was 2. It was I lost track, to be honest with you. I just know that this game ended up with Divock Origi coming big and large at the end again, scoring pretty much almost with the whistle, making it 5-5. It's crazy to see how even without our normal starters on the pitch, not even on the bench, to show the resiliency that Klopp has instilled even into the young guys. Even the young guys are now believing they can win every single match. You know what I'm saying? Like, they believe even down, like, it was 4-2 at a certain point. 4-2 at a certain point. Naby Keita comes off at half. We'll get into that also. And then we score 2 immediately. Ux scores a screamer against his former club. Puts on a nice mean mug. No celebration, though. Puts the hands up. And then Origi comes out again. It's just really just... It's unbelievable to see. Origi, he's the guy. He is the guy that will come up late in games and will give you the goal that you need. All right. Let's get into the lineup that was put out. We knew Keller was going to start, okay? Williams started at right back. And then we had Gomez partner up with Sepp in the middle. And then we had Milner at left back, right? And then in the mid, we had really, besides for Milner and Gomez, I guess we had our only vets in the middle. We had Lallana, Ox, and Kato got subbed off at half. And then the front three, we had Elliott, Origi, and Brewster playing as the striker. I'll tell you what I noticed right away. I'll tell you what. First thing I want to say is that it's not fair to make the judgments, right? It's not fair to make these judgments on these young guys who, you know, some of them are playing with under 21, some of them are playing with the first team, some of them play bench, some of them aren't used to playing 90 minutes, and some of them aren't used to playing such high intensity football. This match was high intensity from the whistle till the end. Like, until the 95th minute, this game was high intensity. It was so high intensity to the point where I think Klopp was like, okay, let's take Naby off before this injury lingers even more. Let's take Ox off because, you know, either we want to give him the rest. I don't know if he picked up a knock, but let's take Ox off because this is really, like, too much, and we're probably going to want him at the weekend. And then, very surprised he kept Lallana in there, to be honest with you, because you could tell Lallana was, like, at certain points was just getting frustrated, fouls, not paying attention, lost the ball plenty of times, wasn't paying attention to what was going on behind him, so he lost the ball in possession a few times. And to be fair, I mean, like, Arsenal put out a pretty strong lineup. Arsenal put out a ton of first-team players. You know, Arsenal, Martellini, he plays first team for them in all the cup games, in the Europa League games, he plays for them. So, like, this guy who had a brace, he knows how to play first team football, okay? Now, I think that team, the Arsenal team that played today, they have more chemistry together because I think Emery he's played them a few times together more than our guys have played together. And I think that showed. Obviously, they had the mishap where Mustafi does Mustafi things and concedes an own goal. We go up a quick 1-0. Then it's a tie, and then it's a quick 2-1. And for some reason, I was going to just like, if we win, we win. Great. If we lose, it's whatever. But the whole time I thought we would come back. I thought we would come back and win. A lot of crackers this match. Obviously, I'll take you some key points I would like to say. I think Gomez looked very confident in the back. I don't think he was his sharpest, but he looked very confident in the back. I think he really was embracing that key center back role. I think he was covering for Sepp a couple times. He had to cover for Williams a couple times. So I think he did a good job. Obviously, not next to any veteran. He was the veteran center back out there. So I think not playing next to Virgil or Lovren or Matip, he did very, very well for himself. So I was very impressed with his performance. Williams, I think he had a good game. He had that giveaway at the end. Not in the end. He had the giveaway which led to Elliott. It was a bad pass where Elliott tried to save it, and that led to another goal from Arsenal. So there was a lot of miscommunication. It was just a lot of like amateur mistakes, a lot of, young guys making young mistakes, and that's okay. We build on that, we learn from that, and you move on, obviously. Sepp, I think, started off very strong. I think he had somewhat of a presence felt, but I think towards the end of the first half, he kind of fell off a little bit. You kind of look at him and you're like, I don't know if this guy's ready for first-team football. And then again, you shouldn't expect him to be ready for first-team football because the lad is 17 years old. Harvey Elliott, the youngest player to debut at Anfield at 16 years old in like 200-something days. That lad is full of confidence. Full of confidence. Also was not his sharpest. But then again, you let these kids play. You know what I'm saying? Let these kids figure it out, okay? I'll say this. I will say that I think one of our weakest points today was actually the mid. Didn't feel Alana too much. Keita, let's talk about Keita for a second. If Keita has an actual very serious nagging injury, and if he doesn't make minimum bench this weekend against Villa, I'm sorry, I'm off this Keita train. I'm off the Naby Keita train because we didn't sign Naby Keita to be taken off at half in a cup game, okay? In the Carabao Cup. That's not what we signed Naby Keita for £65 million. That's not why we brought him in. He came in to boss up the mid. He came in to kind of just, if Miller was to phase away, he was going to come in. He was our guy. You know what I'm saying? He was a guy that's supposed to be playing week in, week out, not barely making it, not playing with all the 17-year-olds cup games against Arsenal. Obviously it's nice to see him out there, but to see him get taken off at half with what they call a nagging groin injury, I think it was. I'm sorry, man. If he's hurt, like I want to hope it's precaution, and like he's fine. And Klopp just wanted to get Curtis Jones out there anyway, because I think I saw Twitter when the lineups were out. Everyone's like, why didn't Curtis Jones get the start? I wasn't really upset. Obviously you like to see Curtis Jones out there, but I was very happy to see Elliott out there. Origi obviously was class. Brewster, sorry, I don't really see it, and people will tell me he's very raw. People tell me I gotta be patient with him. He's also very young. He was great in the World Cup for England. That's fair and that's fine. And I just haven't seen anything that impressed me so much. He was decent in preseason, and that's about it for me. Okay. What else did I see? We spoke about the defense. Let's talk about Kelleher in goal. Yes, he made a big save in the penalty shootout, but again, obviously that's all like 50-50, so I'm watching the highlights right now. Obviously, what a hit by Ox. Obviously, in penalties it's all 50-50, so it was a great save by him. But that being said, those two goals that Arsenal scored in the first half where, first of all, I thought they were offside. Second of all, they were both saved by Kelleher, but they were not cleared. If you notice, when Adrian was in goal, and obviously when Alisson is in goal, and I'm sure it's something they go over in training, when you make a save, when a keeper makes a save, he should obviously try to push it away from the action, either punch it out for a goal, for a corner, for the other, just get it out of the way. Kelleher, the balls that either he should have held on to them or he should have knocked them out of the way so there wouldn't be any rebound, which he wasn't able to avoid. So I think, obviously, he's also very young, and he has that he needs to work on, because he might eventually end up being our backup keeper behind Alisson going forward. I don't know what the plan is for Adrian, but he's got a bright future. He's just some things he has to be more assured. Like, he has to make sure he's not committing these, I guess, silly errors, right? So let's get into match ratings. First of all, let's start with Kettler in goal. Sorry, 5.5 for me. Not a good performance. He let up 5 goals, saved. Obviously, 2 of them I think were offside. I didn't get to see the replays, but at first glance, it looked offside to me. Milner, obviously being boss, he also seemed like he had a little bit of trouble keeping up with the pace at times. But that being said, I think like a 7 is fair for me. Gomez was great. I'll give him a 7.5. Again, you can't give the defense too much credit conceding 5 goals, so you have to take that in mind. Conceding 5 goals, you shouldn't be getting high ratings. Williams also, I'll give like about a 6.5. He was pretty decent going forward, almost playing like a winger, because that's kind of how Liverpool plays. So Milner was pushing up, both fullbacks pushing up, so we like to see that. The mid was very disappointing. Ox obviously had a great goal. Had a chance in the first half which he didn't convert, didn't control the pass by Lallana. So that goal was a beauty. Love to see it. That's already 3 goals and 2 starts for Ox. So good to see him going again. So he'll get the 7.5 7 for me. Lallana, let's give Lallana a 7. And then Keita, fuck you. Like, I'm sick of Keita. Like, you're not worthy of a rating for me right now. When you start staying healthy and playing consecutive games, full 90 minutes, you'll get a rating. Curtis Jones came on for him. We'll get into his rating in a second. Origi, man of the match, 8.5 for me. Elliott wasn't too sharp, but very active, so we'll give him a 7. And then Brewster, 6.5. Didn't do much for me at all. Curtis Jones came on, bust. Curtis Jones is a player. Let me tell you something. Curtis Jones will definitely, in my opinion, be part of Klopp's plans. I think he's got a bright future, and I think we might see him in like some first-team action sometime next year, whether it be riding the bench or, again, doing more cup games. He was great, and I really, really enjoyed that. Other subs that came on didn't really impact, didn't really play too much. So that's it for my match ratings. That's it for my reaction to this amazing, unbelievable 10-goal thriller, 5-5, and then 5-4 ends on penalties. Really just, man, that sucks for Arsenal, right? Like, you put out a very strong lineup against our kids. Very strong lineup. You have Lacazette on the bench, who didn't play. Pepe on the bench, who didn't play. Tierney comes on, he played. Ceballos comes on, he played. Guendouzi comes on. So they put out a very strong lineup, and I think they thought that the game won until Big Kako Origi came on and scored in the dying seconds of the game. So he's my man of the match. To be up 5-4 with all those amazing goals and then have it tied and then lose in penalties, that's got to be a devastating blow for the team. Not good for morale. Opposite, obviously, in our favor. I think this boosts the morale, even for the players that didn't play, even for our first-team players that are watching at home, watching in the back. Like, that's a lot. That's fun. This was a fun match to watch. Even if we lost, yes, I would have been a little disappointed if we lost in penalties, obviously. But all in all, fun match. Liverpool advanced to the next round. United and Chelsea are still playing right now. United is leading 2-1. Everton won yesterday. Everton won yesterday. City won yesterday. Leicester won yesterday. So, yeah, the draw's tomorrow. We'll see who we play. And I'm personally hoping to get United because I'd love to play them again. That's it for Dean, Cop Outside of Mine, post-match reactions. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, all that fun stuff. I'm out.